Murph, did you write that joke, man? That's definitely a Neil Murphy joke. Obviously, I don't want to spend too much time up here. I think I speak on behalf of the entire DeMatha basketball program, though, on just how proud we are of Markelle. And, you know, thinking about what I would say in a couple of minutes that I was up here, I started to think about a relationship, and the relationship more so with the Fultz family that wasn't always on the same page, I guess we'll say. But I look at the relationship with them as a blessing. And the blessing being one that a lot of young men want to be just like Markelle. A lot of young men want to accomplish all the things that Markelle has accomplished. A lot of young men want the future that Markelle has. And I think, you know, some people look at DeMatha like, well, if I go to DeMatha, that's just automatically going to happen. And I want to make sure that people understand that Markelle's gift and Markelle's future is something that was made by him and his upbringing and his drive and his work ethic. And honestly, the blessing is upon us. We were blessed to have him with us. We were blessed that his family decided to send him here to DeMatha. We were blessed that he played for us. We were blessed that he represented us so well. And as we get to all turn on the TV this year and for years to come and watch the young man that he has grown into, I believe that we are all still truly blessed to have been able to watch him grow from the time that he was coming to basketball camp here when he was 10 years old to for as many years as God will bless him the opportunity to play in the NBA. So just Markelle, on behalf of everybody here at DeMatha, especially the basketball program, we are truly proud of you and so happy for you. And we look forward to many years of your success in the future. Thank you very much.
Is Mrs. Phelan back yet? Oh, there she is. Okay, I know you ran across to the Academic Sports Center and I didn't see you back. Get my intro ready. Our second speaker is Mrs. Joan Phelan. Yes, this is the lady that Bill Walton praised on national TV for getting Markelle ready to tackle his schoolwork at UW. Ms. Phelan is our co-director of academic support here, but she's been praised internally for years at DeMatha. When I was coaching, as I mentioned, one of my duties was to be in constant communication with her about our players' academics. She'd meet with students before school, after school, during the school day, after school, before practice, after school, after practice. We'd get off a plane from a road trip and arrive at DeMatha 2 hours later, hour later from DWI, wherever we were coming from. And Mrs. Phelan's car would be in the lot waiting. She's selfless. At the same time, during Markelle's 4 years, well, after talking with Ms. Phelan, maybe it was 3 years today, there's no other student that utilized what she could offer more than Markelle. As committed as she was to Markelle, Markelle was just as committed to being in that academic support center working. Ms. Phelan, thank you, but it's now your turn to come up and share some thoughts. Mrs. Joan Phelan.
I guess first of all, Markelle, I'm bursting with pride. I have one of the greatest jobs here. I get to watch, and I'm going to call them boys because I have 4 sons, 14-year-old boys grow into faith-filled scholars and gentlemen. I get to see them leave in a way that you can't imagine when you meet them when they're 14. As much as we at DeMatha give to these young men, they give us so much more. I have learned so much, not only from Markelle, but from all of the young men that I work with. And I know lots of you have read stories about Markelle this year, and I want to give you a little backstory. Yes, he did come to school many, many days at 5:45. And the part that never gets into the articles is that when I let him in the front door, because it's locked at that time of the morning, Shantice was dropping him off, or Ebony was dropping him off. I can guarantee you that when Shantice was at Catholic getting her master's degree in sociology, she did not have a class at 6:30 in the morning. Ebony didn't have to be at work at 6:30 in the morning. I was the one that got to watch this family be the kind of family that we should all be. Just incredible self-sacrifice for this son and brother. So I am incredibly grateful to have journeyed that way and watched what you two did for this young man. Every morning I heard, "Have a good day, thanks a lot." And every once in a while I'd get a text, "Do you want us to pick us up anything from McDonald's, Mrs. Phelan, for you?" So I just want everybody to know that all of this success happens because there was so much behind him. The only other thing that I really want to say is, yes, he is an incredible representative for us at DeMatha. He's kind, he's generous, he's humble, but probably one of the greatest strengths that he has is how Markelle deals with what some people would call failure or disappointment or not getting what he thought he would get. I was there when he didn't make the varsity, and I was there also when he wasn't doing particularly well in school. And neither of those achievements, any of his achievements, they didn't come quickly. They came because every single day he worked, and every single weekend he texted and said, "Can I come in for more review? Can I come in on Monday to review again?" I was so tired of doing Neil Murphy's trig review over that I could have gone in and gotten an A. But I think in general, when I look at traits, if we could bottle that trait of looking at a disappointment as a challenge and knowing that the achievement is not going to come quickly, but that it's going to come over time, and you have the patience and the perseverance to keep at it. If we could bottle that, the world would be richer, never mind DeMatha, but the world would be richer. So my love, my congratulations to all of you.
Ebony, are you going to be able to do this after that? Our next speaker, and I guess our last speaker, got to speak closer to this, and anyone who has done events kind of like these, or any public speaking for that matter, knows to be wary of the final person who has the microphone, is Ebony Fultz. My initial communication with Ebony was all related to Markelle's academic situation. We planned how to tell teachers he'd be missing a few days here or there for an event, or if he was struggling, how to get caught up, or if he was doing well, how to keep that grade where it was. Then later it was, how can we make sure teachers won't be mad he is missing school for all these all-star games, like the McDonald's game, the Jordan Classic, and USA basketball. She and I, at least, never talked strategy or X's and O's, or why Markelle was so unselfish and he should be creating his shot a little bit more. And seriously, we did while he was here. It was all about making sure he was focused in the classroom and that side of the student athlete was taken care of. I don't know if I should say this, it's not really that funny, but anyway, our recent communication was me sending a picture of a pair of Air Max 1s that I saw in Marshalls that I thought Ebony would really like before we got in to start planning on this. Ebony took over as team mom Markelle's senior year and was responsible for spearheading all parent-related activities, from pre-game meals to holiday parties to group travel to support the team out of town to the book or the media guide production to season-ending team banquet. She was so effective that at Markelle's and at the team's senior banquet, all the other parents gave Ebony an award. So anyway, as Mrs. Phelan, I think, put perfectly, her mindset has laid the foundation for Markelle's success. And even if she doesn't want the opportunity, you now have the opportunity to say a few words. Ebony.
I'm just honored to be here, and I'm thankful that DeMatha thought enough for Markelle to take an opportunity to have this event. There's a couple of things I remember coming in. I remember coming to the freshman tea, and I remember Father James giving a speech, and one of the things that stuck with me, he made sure we knew that DeMatha is not perfect. There's no perfect place. Another thing I remember vividly, of course, as everyone can probably guess, is Markelle not making the varsity team. And I'll speak on that a little at length. And the third thing I remember is Miss Phelan and Markelle forming this relationship that I think was formed on both of their behalves. It was sort of strange to me. Markelle came from PG County Public Schools, and the reason why I wanted him to come to private school because I wanted him to be prepared for college, to be able to write an essay. So he wasn't recruited to go to DeMatha, and that was fine. But once he came here, I knew it was going to be a struggle with him. So my focus was to be his support system. And part of my support system was my daughter Shantice and his trainer Keith Williams, who I went to high school with, and Markelle has been working out with since he was 7. So we formed our inner circle. And the first thing to tackle was academics, getting Markelle into the rigor of how DeMatha did things. He was coming home and he had papers, and my daughter was saying, "Mom, we didn't do this in undergrad. Are you serious? He has to write all this." And I was like, "Yes, he has to write all this." And religion class, and my mom says, because we're Baptists, and my mom's saying, "Oh, this is not how I was taught." And I'm like, "Mom, don't worry about how you were taught. Just go with what's in the book." You know, I'm seeking help for everybody. And, you know, so we worked together, and through a big part of Markelle, we got through academically. It was a struggle, but he stayed with it. And he told me, "Mom, I need to go to school at 5:45. Miss Phelan's going to meet with me." And it was mine. It's a snow day. We have a 2-hour delay, but I need to go to school. I have this I need to work on. Miss Phelan's going to work with me. And I'm like, "Are you getting on her nerves? Why, you know, who is this Miss Phelan person?" So I had to meet her. And once I met her, I mean, she's an angel. And most of the students, if you have students here, they'll tell you, Miss Phelan teaches every subject except for, what's the one subject you don't teach? Physics. One subject except for physics. I recently came to Mr. Vince's funeral service, and Miss Phelan was singing, and I just started crying. Miss Phelan has a beautiful voice, and I knew Miss Phelan was an angel, and it was a reason why we were here at DeMatha. Our faith is deep, and Keith will tell you, and other people that know me will tell you, sometimes I act on stuff, and I don't know why, but I know it's God, and I just have to act on it. Coach Jones said we didn't see eye to eye up front, and I fussed, but I never fussed at him. I never said Markelle needs more playing time, or Markelle should be on varsity. We had some civil conversations, we had some uncivil conversations, but I don't think I ever disrespected you. I got my point across, and everything happens for a reason. Markelle didn't make varsity for a reason. And I believe the steps that God orders, and sometimes we don't understand why they happen, but sometimes you just have to go with it, and you have to have the faith. We could have transferred at 9th grade, and he could have went anywhere, and he could have played on varsity, he could have started, but would his path have been where it is today? I'm not sure. But I think it's important that we teach our children how to stick with something through adversity. So often we go out and we want them to get instant gratification. We call it the microwave generation. We want it now. We want to know how many pairs of shoes we're going to get, how many t-shirts we're going to get, what coaches is our son going to play in front of, and sometimes you have to let it go. Markelle has never played for a team takeover or a DC assault. There's no pun against them. But my objective and my goal was that both of my children work hard and know how to work hard and know how to deal with adversity. We got a lot of questions. Why Washington? Why is he going way over there? I heard, oh, he's trying to get away from his mom. Oh, he's trying to get away from us. Well, if you know the kid, you know that's not true. If you know our family, we're biggest thieves. And we were at Washington, me, Shantice, and Keith, at least twice a month. Some people say, oh, he shouldn't have went there. They had so many losses. They only won 9 games this year. But what do you learn through a whole bunch of wins? I believe you learn more through losses and through adversity. So I'm proud of you, Markelle. I'm proud of your persistence. I'm proud of your commitment. And I just think, like I said the other day, you scratched the surface. The sky's the limit. It didn't dawn upon me that Markelle would go to the NBA until 2 or 3 months ago. I was just living in the moment. He made varsity, let's try to win these games. Hey, let's try to get through this school year. Let's try to make honor roll. And just take one step at a time. And that's how we're gonna handle the next few steps through life. And I encourage everybody else to do so. Don't be so quick to jump ship. See what you can do to help. When Markelle didn't make varsity, I was still helping the parents out. Arlene took me under her wings. Beverly in the back took me under her wings, and I learned how to do the media guide. I learned how the banquet was supposed to be held. And I like to say I led by example. Although things didn't go our way, my children saw me do the right thing. So I know in life that they'll continue to grow and do the right thing.
You're not looking, but you got a standing ovation behind you. Before we get our Q&A, we have a brief video montage, so Mr. Rogers, I think, is going to set that up. But I want to say just a quick thing. I know I've kind of said a lot, and we're going to do the Q&A, but I wanted to share this while he was getting that set. So on April 1st, 2016, I reposted on Instagram. You can follow me at Palucci. Last name and then PG for Prince George's. A picture of Markelle wearing his DeMatha number 20 jersey and spinning a ball as if he were about to shoot a free throw. The quote to the left read of the photo, there was a photo of him, and then to the left was quotes, or a quote on the actual picture. Markelle Fultz tried out for his high school varsity team his sophomore year and didn't make it. They told him he needed to play JV. He didn't transfer schools, he didn't pout and have an attitude that the coaches were against him. He simply got in the gym and worked. Last night, Markelle played in McDonald's All-American game on ESPN as one of the top players in the country. Remember, this was April 1st. Committed to play basketball for Washington, and then hashtag perseverance. And then I posted. Most have probably seen this over social media the last 24 hours and wanted to repost myself. It was everywhere. DeMatha Catholic reposted it. Anybody who knew Markelle probably reposted it at that point. The DeMatha environment is a competitive environment. We push all students in the classroom and on the court to compete. At Markelle Fultz, if you wanted to follow him, competed and continues to do so. Thanks in advance for allowing me to tell your story, your academic and basketball story, to potential students and families interested in our school. As admissions director, I don't sell a dream, a fairy tale to potential students about DeMatha. You don't come here and just end up Markelle Fultz. And everybody's kind of said that tonight. We didn't even plan on this. You have to work and work and work and work to even have that chance. Markelle, thank you. And again, for allowing me to share your story. Again, so many people, so many young men, so many boys need to hear it because I'm afraid they don't. So, thank you. You guys ready for the video? If you've been to any of our basketball banquets, this usually doesn't go well, but